Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing the next Q&A video answer segment for The Walking Dead Season 5. Yesterday we did Part 6. If you missed it, go to the channel, check it out. Today we'll be doing Part 7. Don't get bit. Gone viral. Yeah, sweet. So just letting you guys know that I have, yes, partnered up with superherostuff.com. So I'll put the link in the description. You guys want to check out the site. They got some awesome Walking Dead shirts, merchandise, stuff like that. So no more than about 10 seconds per video. I won't have more than 10 seconds of commercials per video for that kind of stuff. So don't worry. I won't be flooding you guys, spamming you guys with stuff like that. Just here and there, it just helps out the channel and longevity and everything. Okay, so the first question comes from Brady for this for today's segment, and he basically asks, do you think they'll keep Judith around, and how do you think they will handle her going forward? That's a damn good question. Really damn good question. Well, I should probably actually, I'll write that down and I'll do a whole video on that one because I think that one's good enough to talk about for at least 5 minutes or so. But just to answer you very briefly until I do that video, which will probably be within a week or two, yeah, I think so. I think they're going to keep her around now. If she survived originally, right, so she survived the point where she died in the comic books, now what are they going to do with her? Are they going to kill her off at a different point, or are they just going to keep her on permanently? I think for the television series, it makes sense for them to keep her on permanently, because if it gets to about season 20, season 25, which is what the AMC vice president was talking about last year, seeing it going on that long, then we could literally see Judith grow up to be Carl's age now. Wouldn't that be cool if Carl was like 40 years old, or like, let's say, he's 30 years old, let's say, and Judith is like 15 or 16 or something, and we're in like season 20 or season 25 or something crazy like that. So we'll see how that goes, but I'll do a whole video on that one. But yeah, I think now that she survived, I think they got to keep her. I don't think you should kill her now. Just my thought on that. Next question comes from Terranitup. He or she asks, do you think Gareth has a weak point or a soft spot? If so, what is it? Well, that's a good question. I think that we're going to see him exposed. I don't think he's that tough by himself, so I right off the bat, I would say that's a weak point. Basically, what he does is he kind of tricks people. The trick is that he lures them in with the promises and everything, and then he traps them. He puts them in a position where they don't really have any other choice. He has the manpower to do it. He has the the location to do it, enough fences, enough gates, and enough people to make that happen. However, his weak points, I would say, is I think most of it's show. I don't think he's really that tough underneath. I mean, him himself, if he was out there on his own in zombie apocalypse, I don't think he would be a great survivor. He doesn't look like he'd be very tough, like he'd be able to, fight his way through walkers or deal with somebody like the governor or any of these types of things. I think what we've seen so far is just a mixture of a good strategy, numbers, and a plan. Rick's group and others not thinking somebody out there would be that messed up to want to do what Gareth's group is doing at Terminus. So in terms of weak spot, yeah, I just think in terms of when it comes down to it, I don't think he's that tough. Really, I don't. If he doesn't have the advantage, obviously Rick's group did get the jump on him, but they were kind of looking for a safe haven, so they kind of bought into it. Whereas someone like Joe's group, if Joe's group got desperate and they ran out of food and stuff, you could see someone like Joe's group going there and knowing that it's BS and just trying to take the whole place for themselves. And it might go okay. The only problem is they'd be very outnumbered, right? If he had more guys, then yeah, I don't think Gareth's that tough. It's just the situation he's in and the circumstances in which Rick's group kind of are trusting with him. A little too trusting. Next question comes from Steward, and he asks, Trev, why hasn't Talking Dead called you to be on it yet? Well, thanks, man. No, they probably never will. I would just say it that way. They probably never will. That I don't think will ever happen. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with what I do here on YouTube. I'm happy with what you guys checking out the channel and stuff. I get on a yearly basis, I get let's see, I've got over 40 million views, about 45 million views. So, I get about as many views as Talking Dead does by itself. A lot of times they'll get like 3 million views an episode, and they might get a few more than me, but it's a whole show with a budget and everything. So I'm happy with what I'm able to do here on YouTube, and I think that I'm doing about as good as I possibly can do, better than I originally had envisioned the channel doing. So whatever, that's fine. Plus, too, I'm really busy. Like, I got my full-time job, I do videos, and then I got to live life too. So even if they did invite me, I might not even be able to do it, because if I couldn't get the time off work, can't do it. You know what I mean? It's just all there is to it. So I live in Canada, so I'd have to fly and all that stuff and stay and at a hotel, and it's just I doubt it. They probably will never. I'm just a YouTuber anyway. So next question is from TaylorMc. Says, Trev, do you ever think we'll see Lily again? This is one people seem to be a little confused about. We didn't see her die. They should have actually probably shown it to us, because a lot of people missed it when Glenn meets up with Tara. Tara tells Glenn that he saw her get devoured, basically. I missed it on first viewing too, but on second viewing, we can hear clearly that, she says that Lily's dead. Lily's dead. So no, we won't see her again, even in a flashback now, because the prison's an old location. We won't see her again. Next question is from Jojo Morris. He says, I'm still confused about what happened with Sofia. One of the biggest moments in our explanation is just Odis must have put her there. That's one that a lot of people are kind of a little bit confused about. They get a little bit angry about, because it's argued. I've done a whole video on that. You can search it in the channel. Go use the search tool if you want to see that video, Jojo, or anybody else. Basically, what I said in that video, you can watch it for more details. But essentially, the amount of time between when she goes missing and when Carl gets shot is not that much. They look for that day, and then it was a night, right? And then another day. So he had about a day or two, I guess. Let's give him 2 days, okay, to find her and put her in the barn. It's a bit of a stretch, and then go back and shoot Carl accidentally. It's a little bit of a stretch, but a lot can happen in 2 days in a zombie apocalypse. And I guess if she had gotten bitten around that area and wandered towards the farm, since it was fairly close, I guess it makes sense. It was a great reveal, and I really liked how they did it. But I do agree that it's a little bit strange how she ended up there. Odis must have put her there, though. There's no other possibility. That's what Herschel says as well, and that's, how else? That's inside that story, inside the story they're telling. That's what happened. He put her there, I guess. I know it's a little bit of a crunch for time. It's a little bit, it might not line up perfectly, but that's basically what it's supposed to be. Okay, so next question, I'll do a couple more, I guess, for this one, is from Killian, and he asks, will Daryl become Negan's second-hand man in the TV series? That's one a lot of people, for some reason, I don't know why, for some reason sometimes stuff gets out there on the internet, like ideas and stuff, and people just run with it, because it hasn't been ironed out yet. Like, we won't see Negan in season 5. I would almost guarantee it. The chances of us seeing Negan in season 5 are like non-existent. It's just not going to happen, basically, is what I'm saying, in terms of timing, unless they brought him in at the very end for just a quick little cameo and then he left again. In terms of the story, I don't think we're going to see him at least until season 6 sometime, or maybe season 7. Maybe not even season 6. Maybe season 7. He won't even show up until, or late season 6. But yeah, will Daryl become his... well, Dwight in the comic book series, he used a crossbow as well. He doesn't look like Daryl, but his gear is a little bit like Daryl. And he's becoming more and more of an important character in the series from what we've seen. We believe him to be the leader of Negan's group now after the all-out war. Basically, with him, I think he is the comic book series version of Daryl, and Kirkman's just trolling everybody. He put him in there. He gave him a similar name, Dwight Daryl, start with a D. He used a crossbow, similar. Doesn't look exactly like him, had half his face burnt. But aside from that, hair color fairly similar. Clothes, he does wear fairly similar clothes. He basically is him. So could Daryl become a second-hand man? I think that's very likely. I think that makes that is a great storyline, and that would fit perfectly with how the comic book series goes and how the TV series goes. I could definitely see that, and I like it. I'd say there's a good chance they'll do something like that. It makes perfect sense because Daryl's probably not going to die anytime soon. He's tough as nails, and he has been separated from the group before, right? Of course, what we saw with Joe's group and everything. So it'd be a similar type of circumstance. So I like it. I think it'd be really good, and I hope they do that. I think it'd be great over the long term. Plus, then he wouldn't always be in Rick's group. He'd kind of leave for a bit, come back in, that type of thing. Maybe kind of similar to a Morgan situation, but more often. At least come in every season, at least every 5 or 6 episodes. I'd rather have them do that than kill him off. Because if you have a character that's that center to the show for another 2 or 3 seasons, it might be time for them to either kill him off or have him separated, right? Because people might get burned out of seeing the same thing with the crossbow all the time. So I think it makes sense that he would do that, something like that, and just kind of separate. So that'd be really good. So there's another round of questions. I got a couple left before I have to start actually looking from the initial when I asked for them. So so if you guys have any other questions or anything, send them to me. I do write them down. I will go ahead and go over them eventually, as I want to keep doing Walking Dead videos as frequently as possible. Maybe not every day. I was trying every day, but now I'm like, oh damn, I don't know if I can keep this going. but I'll try to do Walking Dead videos every couple days, missing a few days, maybe 5 days a week. I think I could say 5 days a week and say that honestly, that I could probably do that now. So if you guys like this little Q&A, please thumb it up below, like it. If you want to help support the channel, check out the website in the description there, superherostuff.com, and add the video to favorites if you want. Share it on your Facebook, whatever you want to do. Check out the channel for those other videos I talked about, Sofia in the bar and all that other kind of stuff. The other previous Q&As if you missed any and you want to see them. And thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you for sticking with me over the course of the summer. Got lots more stuff coming up, and I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. See you for the next one. This is Trev, as always. Say peace.